G'day everyone, it's Devil's Prodigy here. Here to bring you my first ever battle report. I had a game on the weekend against my friend, his name is Snap, and he had a new army that he was interested in buying, and he's borrowed it from a friend's, which is the Ogre Kingdoms. He wanted to see how they go, so I challenged him to a game with my Warriors of Chaos, just a 1,000-point game. We didn't choose any scenarios or anything like that, it was just straight across the battlefield, and we just wanted to get a chance to learn more about the Ogre Kingdoms, and he wanted to have a go and see how they went. So quickly we'll go into his army. He had some Nobblers, he had the Nobbler Scrap Launcher, he had a Butcher, and with Iron Guts, and his Butcher had a Dispel Scroll. Then he had 5 Ogres and had a Bruiser in there as well, which was the BSB, and we've got 3 Lead Belchers. And then going over to my army, I've got a Chaos War Shrine with the Mark of Khorne, 2 Warhounds, 18 Chaos Warriors with the Mark of Khorne, with 2 hand weapons, and we've also got Festus the Leech Lord in there as well. And also I've got my 5 Chaos Knights, which I use regularly because they are pretty damn good, and they helped me win quite a few games in the past. So turn 1, one thing I need to remember in the future to take more photos, but here we go. Turn 1 was pretty much basically me moving forward, moving my knights around, and then him charging my warhounds basically. One of the warhounds elected to flee to sort of bring the ogres forward a bit. The other one, I let the charge come through, and they basically slaughtered them, and you can see that they overrun, his ogres overrun, and they came basically next to the Chaos Warriors, so it was not a good first turn, and I was a bit concerned now because I was sort of out of place. As you can see here on this closer photo, it shows you actually how close they are, and which means it's going to tie them up for a turn or two as they sort of readjust, and that. The other thing was one of my warhounds, I probably should have just not bothered fleeing, I should have just taken that charge as well, but live and learn from that mistake. So then we go into his turn 2. He turned his ogres to face my Chaos Warriors, getting ready for a charge. He pretty much moved everything, his Nobblers around and that, getting ready for the Chaos Knights coming in, so he didn't move too much forward because he wanted to get his shooting in that off. And what I did in my turn 2 was I charged my knights into his Nobblers. They lost the combat and fled, and of course this was bad for me. I did catch them, but as you can see now, my Chaos Knights are out of place, and I moved my Chaos Warriors so they would face that charge from the ogres. We go into his turn 3, and basically he charged my knights with his ogres. He just went into crashing into both of them, and at this point I was like, this is not good. He smashed every single knight except for my champion, and it wasn't looking good at all. But then it went into my turn 3, and basically I charged in my Chaos Warriors, and I did something that I've always forget to do, but I've remembered it this time, and this was challenges. I issued a challenge with my champion and also with Festus, and Snap, he actually decided to accept these challenges, and that led me to winning the combat and actually beating him, and they both failed their leadership, so they fled and were caught. So it wasn't a good move at all for the ogres, and yeah, pretty much that was the end of the game. So end of Warriors of Chaos turn 3. It all went horribly wrong for the ogres, and ogres have declared.
Declare their innings.
Alrighty, game over.